Welcome back to Axis and Allies, the anniversary edition. We're going to be doing Japan, but I have a couple corrections to do with regards to China. The two transports that we sunk here, you cannot, the Flying Tigers cannot leave any spaces, go any farther than any spaces that have the Chinese symbol on them. So they cannot fly out here, attack the transports and fly back. They can only be used for any location that has Chinese symbol. So that just doesn't happen. These transports are still there floating around Formosa. So there we go. That's one thing. The other thing is I incorrectly calculated the number of Chinese replacement troops because I had said you count up the number of territories, divide by 3. That is incorrect. You divide by 2 and round down. So on China's turn, they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 locations under their control, and I placed 1 unit down here. So 5 divided by 2, of course, 2.5. Rounded down is 2 units. So they can place 1 more Chinese troop, and they'll place it here just to try to slow down the Japanese. All right, the Japanese have 26 IPCs to spend, and it is their turn. So the first thing they're going to do is purchase units, produce units, and yeah, the Japanese have to consider the submarine fleet coming from out of the US. So let's figure out what the Japanese are going to spend their IPCs on. Alright, so pretty much as we knew would happen, the Japanese are buying some destroyers. So they're producing 2 destroyers, 1 artillery, and 2 infantry units. That is going to be their entire 26 production. Alright, let's see what the Japanese are going to do for their offensive attacking moves. They still have lots they're going to do, lots they're going to try to do, so let's figure out what it is they're up to on this turn. Alright, starting off their little sneaky Japanese move, they're going to take their transport here, move 1 space to the East Indies, and they're going to drop a couple of infantry on here. Of course, uncontested, there are no units here. So that, but it is considered a combat move because we're attacking the East Indies. That is going to give Japan 4 IPCs. That is a lot, and that's going to knock 4 off of the UK. So Japan is going to go from 26 up to 30, and the UK is going to go from 34 down to 30. So now the UK and Japan are tied for IPCs. All right, that's just the opening little skirmish here in the East Indies. Lots more to go. Alright, Japan has their eye on trying to wipe out as much of the Chinese as they possibly can, and so they are going to take the 1 unit from French Indochina into Yunnan. I'm not even going to try. So from there, they're going to take another 1 unit in here, leaving 2 in Burma, which could be a little dangerous, possibly. We'll see. And then they will take 1 fighter craft here, and it will move 1 unit here, which means it has a range of 3 after it's done attacking. Alright, 1 attack. The next one is going to be this. Infantry and artillery are coming in here, and they are 1, 2. They are taking 1 fighter unit there. That one went 2. So it has a fly range of 2 when it is done its attack. And we got 1 other plane sitting here. Oh, we also have a plane here. This is what we wanted to do. This plane is going to fly off the carrier Borneo, going 1, 2, 3 into here. So it has a range of 1 for return. And then we will take this aircraft here. It's going to go 1, 2, 3 into here, and the 2 infantry units coming in here. So it is a full-on Chinese offensive, and this also has just a 1 return, I believe. 1, 2, 3, yeah, 1. So a total press into Chinese territory, leaving the British alone. Is that a good idea? I don't know. We will find out. So that's it for those attacks, and now they are doing an offensive out of Japan. Alright, the Japanese are going to try and push Russia out of this location. So they're going to use their 2 transports here, which I guess I'll turn them sideways so I don't get them confused. They're going to take in 2 artillery and 2 infantry in here for a press, and then they're going to fly this one off the carrier, so that's 1, and so there's 1. It has a range of 3, and they're going to fly the other 2 aircraft off of this carrier out here on Iwo Jima, and they can go 1, 2, so they have a range of 2. Both of those can come back. All right, I think that is going to be all of the offensives from Japan, I think. Or did we want to take the cruiser in and try and take out that destroyer in India? Let me think about that offensive. Yeah, it might be a little crazy, but I think the Japanese are going to take... Well, hang on, if they blow that... no, they'll be fine. They're going to take the cruiser in here, and they're going to try and take out the British destroyer. So that's what they're going to attempt there. Yes, that's what they're going to attempt there. All right, that's it for all of their moves as far... Okay, I'm going to flip that one as well. As far as combat moves, that hasn't done anything yet. We're going to leave that there. Yeah. So let's get on to rolling some dice and have the combats happen. All right, let's roll up the sea battle here, just off the coast of India, and the Japanese cruiser hits on a 3 or less, and it hits the destroyer. Now, does the destroyer get a 1 or a 2 to sink the cruiser? It does not. So the Japanese, lucky there, they went right in and destroyed the destroyer. The British destroyer is gone. Out of here. Nicely done for Japan. They still have their cruiser sitting off the coast. Excellent. All right, we have a lot more battles to go. All right, there's a lot of stuff going on here in China. So we're going to put in here. Let's start right here. So we have 2 Japanese infantry and we have 2 Japanese fighters coming in. And so the 2 infantry hit on 1s. And they get nothing, and let's hope we don't roll that for the fighters. And the fighters hit on a 3 or less. And they get 1 hit. Wow. Okay, that was pretty poor showing. However, the defense is pretty skimpy. They have 1 infantry hitting at a 2, the Chinese. They do not hit, and the fighter craft hitting at a 4. Flying Tigers, the Flying Tigers hit, so it's going to be a 1 for 1. So the Chinese will lose their 1 infantry. And the Japanese will lose also 1 infantry. The Japanese are going to press the attack. They are rolling 1 for the infantry. They need a 1. No, and they have 2 aircraft hitting on 3s. And that's 2 hits, so they take out the Flying Tigers. But do the Flying Tigers get a 4 or less? They don't. The Flying Tigers get a 6. Wow. Japanese are doing a fine job, and they have now just taken over that territory. So let me get that figured out. So the Japanese, I gotta find a whole bunch of these little Japanese tokens. I should have got them out earlier. All right, the Japanese have taken over this location. That is 1 up for Japan, bringing them to 31, and 1 down for the US, 39 down to 38. Okay, let's continue on. We have some more battles going. So we've got this one going on right here, and this one may or may not actually happen, but we'll see. We have an infantry and artillery, so hitting on 2s. There's the 1 hit we need, so we don't need to roll the plane or anything else. The Chinese infantry hits on 1 or 2, and it gets a 3. It does nothing, so it is annihilated as well. So the Japanese, wow, are doing a fine job of crushing all of the Chinese troops. That is going to be another 1 up for Japan, taking them to 32 and US 38 down to 37. Oh, all right, I'm just going to clear my throat here a bit. We're going to come back. We have 1 final battle to go. All right, we've got 1 final battle in China to go. Let us see what's going to happen. So we've got 2 infantry, 1s, maybe, no, 2 4s, and an aircraft hitting at 3. And a 1, so that's the 1 Chinese troop gone. Wow, Japanese have done a horribly good job of taking the Chinese out, and a 1 or 2 in defense. And this time they do actually get rid of one of the Japanese infantry. All right, that is some more land grabs, and yeah, another one. Let's see, what have I got here? We got another one for Japan, taking them to 33 IPCs, and that's another one down for the US, 37 down to 36. Japan is just smoking. All right, up we go to the battle, taking there the Japanese versus the Russians. Let's see how they do, if they fare pretty well up there. All right, let's see, we'll get that there like that. Yep, that works. That works good. So, for the Japanese, they have 2 infantry and 2 artillery. So that is 4 dice hitting on 2s. And that's 3 hits. Okay, that was a little statistically BS, but we'll take 3 hits for that. And they have 3 aircraft hitting on 3s. And they get 1. Wow. Okay, so that's a total of 4 hits. That absolutely wipes out all of the Russian troops because they have 4 infantry. Okay, and that means they're going to be rolling 4 defense dice, hitting on 2s for defense, and they only get 1. Holy mackerel. So that's 1 infantry gone from the Japanese, and every one of the Russian troops wiped out there. Holy moly, that is kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. All right, and you can see Japan is just spreading like a giant virus. If I can find a Japanese marker here, there we go. So that is 1 more up for Japan. They're at 34 IPCs, and Russia drops 1 from 29 to 28. And that is going to be the end of the Japanese offensive. And that was, I gotta say, that was a spectacular turn for them. And now it is all non-combat moves, so there's lots to think about here as to what we want to do. Alright, let's start down here. We're going to take the battleship, and it's going to go 1, 2 in here to C-Zone 37. We're going to leave that transport there. We're going to take the aircraft carrier and move it in here. Now we're going to move the aircraft carrier down here. Yeah, but nobody can really get to that. And do we have, so 3, 1, 2, 3. Yes, this aircraft can get onto the aircraft carrier. Whoops, as it keep knocking stuff around. Alright, that is that. And then we will take the 1 here, and it will go onto this location. And we have a 1 here, which I believe has to go back here, which is fine. Alright, I think that's it. Oh, and I don't know if you could quite see that. Apologize. Oh, we have a 2 here as well. Alright, let me figure out what else we're doing. Oh no, the 2, actually this one, the 2 here is going to go 1 and 2. So we've got 2 fighters and 2 infantry in Burma. Alright, there's got to be some more non-combat moves though, so let's get to those. Alright, and the non-combat moves here, of course these transports can't do anything, but these 2 can. And one of them is going to move up here, and actually one of them is going to move down here, so let me get that sorted. Yeah, and then the other one will move 1, 2 in here with the battleships. We've got a battleship, 2 transports, we've got a transport aircraft carrier, 1 plane here, and the cruiser here. All good, I think. Alright, still some more non-combats. And yes, some more non-combats. We were going to take the carrier group from Iwo Jima, move it into Japan. And then we have a plane, 2 planes at 2. Both of these can get onto the carriers, which they will do. Not a problem. And this one here will actually fly to Manchuria just to make sure. Oh no, they can't get there. Let's not worry about that. This is going to go onto the carrier. What am I talking about? So now we have that one on the carrier. So we have a loaded carrier, half-loaded carrier, and that is it for non-combat moves. And the Japanese are flooding right across China. Alright, now it's time now to put down the units for Japan. So they have 2 infantry that they're dropping down. They have 1 artillery. And yes, the 2 destroyers that they produced are going to be going in here. All right, so now they got 2 destroyers, 3 transports, a loaded, 1.5 loaded aircraft carriers, 5 infantry and artillery there. All right, that's it, I think. And Japan getting a whopping 34 IPCs at the end of this turn. So they're going to gather that. We're going to zoom out. We're going to wrap up Japan's turn for this episode. But I forgot to move 1. We're going to move the 1 troop out of here into French Indochina. Just, that was the last non-combat. Yes, I think, oh man, or do I want 1 more non-combat? I think I have 1 more non-combat to do. Oh, trying to keep track of them. Yes, we're going to move from Manchuria. We're going to move right up here for non-combat. So we're going to be putting the pressure on the Russians by the look of it. There. All right, now we're going to zoom out, collect our 34 IPCs, and wrap up our episode for today. All right, well, that's going to wrap up our episode for today. That was Japan's turn. UK is up next tomorrow. So the United Kingdom's going to do. So thanks so much for watching along. Thanks for your comments, subscriptions, likes. This is the Axis and Allies Anniversary Edition. You can see the Japanese hordes are moving out. They're getting low on troops, but holy man, did they ever wipe out the Chinese. Okay, great stuff for the game. Obviously not. In real life, it was horrific. Absolutely horrific, and we never want to see anything like this ever happen again, except in game form. So thanks so much, and appreciate it. Helps with my channel. We'll see you tomorrow for the continuation Axis and Allies Anniversary Edition. We'll be doing the United Kingdom. Alright, I'm going to do one little retro thing here at the end of the Japanese turn, and it's when we moved the transport in here during non-combat, we could have actually picked up 2 infantry and dumped them off onto the mainland. So we would have done that. We're going to put 2 more infantry from Japan over here. There was 3 infantry here to start with. Transport moves in. We're going to move 2 over here. It only makes sense. Alright, that's going to be it. Thanks so much for watching along. We'll see you tomorrow for the UK's turn, Axis and Allies Anniversary Edition.